any state are broken, a duly authorized organization swings into action. It may be called the state police, state troopers, militia, the rangers, or the highway patrol. These are the stories of the men whose training, skill, and courage have enforced and preserved our state laws. One of the major duties of law enforcement agencies, such as the Highway Patrol, is the prevention of any sort of panic which might jeopardize the safety of public citizens. While making a friendly call last year in May, the head of the Highway Patrol unexpectedly and unknowingly encountered a new type of killer, one just as deadly dangerous as any gun-toting criminal.
Hi, Miss Mathews. Hi.
Charlie, how's the orange crop going this year?
Oh, say, I'm getting a couple more boxes to a tree since you and your boys cleaned up that gang of grove thieves.
Looks like we're both interested in pest control.
With guns.
I know what you mean. Glad everything's going okay. Say hello to Mrs. Norton for me, will you?
Yeah, I sure will. Right now, she's in town buying supplies.
Oh, by the way, how's my pal Tommy?
I haven't seen him since she left this morning. He must be up to something.
Hold it. Raise your hand.
Please, don't shoot. Please don't shoot.
All right. Turn around. Okay, mister. Inside. All right, mister. You can put your hands down now.
Don't tie me up, please.
Well, okay.
What do you got here, Tommy?
A real model police special, 38.
Did you make this yourself?
Sure I did. Come on, I'll show you.
Hey, Tommy, this isn't dry yet.
Well, don't worry about the paint, Mr. Mathews. It'll come right off. Got some cleaner rags here.
What kind of paint is this, Tommy? There's no odor to it.
That's not real paint. Just some kind of whitewash. Better not. I just finished painting those two.
Oh?
Mr. Mathews,
Mm-hmm.
I got a favor to ask you. Someday when you're not in a rush, could you, well, would you teach me how to target practice?
Well, what do you say to today?
Here, use this gun. Then you won't get paint on your hands again.
Well, if we're going to have target practice, we got to have something to shoot at, don't we? Oh, there it is right there.
It doesn't look big enough for me to hit.
It's plenty big enough. But first, we got to back up. Come on. I'll show you.
Oh, Tommy!
There I am, Dad, in the shed.
That's okay. Just wanted to tell you I'm going down to the far end of the grove to spray.
All right, Dad.
Now, look, Tommy. You stand just like this. Oh, not quite so far apart. A little closer together.
How's this?
That's much better. Now, the gun should feel like a continuation of your arm, like this. See? Now, your left hand right down on your side, tight.
Why'd you do that?
That's for balance. You don't want it waving around. Now, look, let me show you how to hold it. You cradle the butt right here. Put your thumbs exactly where I have mine. That's it. Now, put your index finger on the trigger. Just like that. That's it. Now, the rest of the butt is held tight with these three fingers. You got it?
Mm-hmm.
All right, swell. Now, put your left hand down there. Put your arm out. Straighten a little bit more. That's it. Now, you line the two sights up right on the center of the target. Now, you got it?
Yeah?
Now, take a deep breath. Let half of it out. Squeeze.
Bullseye.
Okay, Tommy. You practice what I just showed you, huh?
That's your gun, Mr. Mathews. I'm gonna paint it up real special. Then I'll give it to you.
Okay, thanks, Tommy. Thanks, Tommy.
You're welcome, Mr. Mathews. You know, I sure would like to have a real gun like yours.
Maybe someday you will. Until then, keep practicing with that one. But remember one thing. Guns are dangerous. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Guns are dangerous. a constant caution of police officers everywhere. But Dan Mathews' warning to Tommy Norton had particular significance. Little did he suspect that Tommy's seemingly harmless toy guns were in every sense of the word as dangerous as any real gun. Deadly weapons whose bullets were soon to present a threat to both their lives.
Hi, you're a little late.
Yeah, I know.
Hold on. Hey, you don't look very good.
I don't feel very good.
What's the matter?
I wish I knew. Where's the doc?
He's in the lab. You want me to go with you?
No, he's not here. I just think it's an old-fashioned stomachache.
Hi, Dan.
Hi, Doc.
What's the matter?
Nothing serious, I hope.
Here, go sit down.
Okay.
Open your mouth. Stick this under your tongue. Stomachache?
Oh, I got it dandy.
Pain just in the stomach?
No, it starts there.
Keep your mouth closed. When did it start?
Well, I'd say about 15, 20 minutes ago.
Eaten anything unusual?
No.
Threat of a public panic demanded an early diagnosis of Dan Mathews' illness. It was imperative not only to determine the necessary medical aid, but to prevent what in their minds could be disaster. Unknown to the Highway Patrol, as they moved rapidly in their efforts to avert a widespread panic, the illness had claimed another victim. The condition of a small boy, seriously ill and without help, grew steadily worse.
Hello? Mother? No, ma'am. The operator must have given you the wrong number.
Anything to show yet, Carson?
I called the Board of Health, Doctor. No other cases of food poisoning reported so far. Doesn't help us locate the source of contamination.
No. Trouble is, people living in rural areas seldom call a doctor until the last moment.
But are you sure that Dan has food poisoning?
Well, symptoms of his are common to a lot of things. None of them good.
Is he feeling any better?
A little. As soon as you finish these tests, let me have the results. I'll be with Mathews.
Yes, sir.
I want to keep a close check on him for the next few hours. With those symptoms, there's always the possibility of a wrong diagnosis.
Well, let's see now. I had lunch right here. I think I had the daily special. Breakfast? Breakfast I had here. I had pancakes, so it might have been number 3 or number 4 on the menu. I don't know.
How about dinner?
Let's see. Dinner I ate at... Oh, this... Give me George Libbets.
What is it?
I didn't eat dinner. I had a sandwich at the ballpark, at Libet's ballpark. Charity game, Little League.
Big crowd?
It's jammed. Hello, George. This is Dan Mathews, Highway Patrol. Who ran the food concession at the ballpark last night? What's his name again? Mick McKay. Does he have his own place? What's the name of it? Mick's Grill. Where is he? 3 miles south on 112, right. No, there's nothing wrong at all. I just want some information. Right, thanks very much. I'll take this with myself. Dispatch units. I want food and water samples. Check for contamination.
Look, I'll handle this. You need a rest.
I'm not the only one involved, Doc.
It's my responsibility.
Doc, there were a lot of kids there. Now, if they get the same thing I had, their families are going to panic. We'll have a catastrophe.
Okay, you win, but I'm going with you because I got some pills.
All right, bring your pills. Come on, let's get moving.
Good afternoon.
Oh, hey. I'm Mathews, Highway Patrol. This is Dr. Holmes right here. You run the food concession at the ballpark, don't you?
What about it?
Well, I ate there. Just had my stomach pumped. Could be food poisoning.
I don't serve bad.
I don't say you do. We just want to check it, that's all.
Check all you want.
I want samples of everything you serve.
Okay. I think I've got leftovers of everything.
Water. Give me some water.
Here, Dan. Yep. Take those.
While Dan Mathews and Dr. Holmes worked feverishly, little Tommy struggled, alone, frightened, and sick, unable to reach his father working at the far end of the grove, a father unaware of his son's desperate plight.
Pain gone, Dan?
Almost.
Try some more water.
That pill works pretty fast.
It's only temporary.
Mixed restaurant. Dr. Holmes, please. You Holmes?
Yes.
It's for you.
Thank you. Yes?
Carson speaking, Doctor. I just finished the stomach analysis. Negative.
Not food poisoning. Well, how about other poisons?
No trace so far.
I'm bringing Mathews back right away. You get those samples ready. I'll send another patrol car to pick them up.
Well, it's not food poisoning. What do you need the samples for?
What do you need samples for, Doc?
Because your symptoms are indicative of a lot of things that can be caused by food.
Give me a name for it. What do you give me a name for it?
I don't know, Dan. Maybe some of our other tests will tell us what it is, but they won't be finished for 24 hours.
You know, other people can get hit by this. Lots of people.
Then we'll have that catastrophe you're afraid of. Full-scale panic.
Let me tell you one thing, Doc. Panic can hit and move faster than any disease.
The dread panic had found a victim. As Dan Mathews and the doctor sought to avert a general panic, an immediate tragedy was in progress. Little Tommy Norton, gravely ill and without medical aid, was unable to understand the strong and gripping pains that racked his body.
You know, that pill left a funny taste in my mouth.
Couldn't have been the pill, Dan. The pill has no taste.
I ought to know. I swallowed it.
I know, too.
Well, something tasted funny.
What sort of a taste?
I don't know. It's like... Well, you know, it's like new faucets in your house.
Tastes and smells are peculiar to each individual. Can't you pin it down, Dan?
Let me see. It's kind of metallic, like... Well, like lead.
I'm going to check the water.
What's the matter now, Doc?
Give me a glass of water. Have you had any plumbing done around here recently?
Plumbing?
No taste.
What's this all about?
Is this the same tap water you gave Mr. Mathews?
Yeah?
Metal. Thanks. Dr. Holmes to headquarters. Dr. Holmes to headquarters.
Headquarters, by?
Get a hold of my lab assistant. Tell him to run a quick lead determinator test on Mathews. We're coming in. 10-4. 10-4.
10-4.
Dr. Holmes hoped the lead determinator test would supply the answers so desperately needed to stop Dan's attack. But the report showed the test indicated only a slightly above normal lead content, just enough to give Dan his strange taste. However, this test did lead to other tests, which proved the cause, the real villain, a surprising, unexpected killer, organic phosphate. Organic phosphate, which even in small doses can nearly always be fatal.
Well, here we go again. I know that if I got it, other people have got it, too.
If we don't find those other people, could it be fatal?
If they don't get the proper medical attention, it could.
Where'd you get it?
Hey, Doc, where could I get it?
By absorption. Through the lungs, the skin, the stomach. Judging from the violence of your attack, I'd say you had a large contact, and recently.
And now the problem really started. Where did Dan get organic phosphate poisoning? How did Dan get it? Were others exposed to it? Did it find its way into the air? Was there a panic to be faced? Officer Williams and Dr. Holmes questioned Dan at length as to his actions, his whereabouts, his travels. Yet, as he relived his day, none of the three could find the danger point in an extremely busy man's daily activity that could bring him into direct contact with his lethal poison. In their minds, time was getting short. Their concern for the danger to others mounted as the minutes sped by.
Get me George Libet right away.
Take off the coat, Dan.
Right here, give me a hand.
Yep.
What do you mean it's busy? This is an emergency. Tell them it's Mathews, Highway Patrol. Cut in. Hello, George. That fence around the ballpark, when's the last time you painted it? Oh, what are you, square needles or something, Doc? What, about 6 months ago? Well, why the wet paint signs on it? Oh, well, I see. Okay, thanks very much. At the wet paint signs to stop the kids from crawling over.
Well, that's a relief.
Yeah, but there's only one thing wrong. We're starting all over again.
Well, not quite. At least we know what we're looking for.
Yeah, but where, Doc? Where?
As Dr. Holmes briefed Dan on the uses of organic phosphate, told him of its major use, the field of insecticides, it brought into sharp focus the Norton farm, the spraying, and it now became imperative that they contact the Nortons. If that's where Dan got it, then the Nortons could be in serious trouble.
Get me Charlie Norton's place right away. Well, they don't answer.
They're not home.
Maybe they can't answer. Let me have my hat. Come on, Doc, let's go.
Receiving the proper medical attention, Dan Mathews was now out of danger. But would Tommy's desperate situation be discovered in time? If the toxic infection progressed unchecked, it could be a matter of only minutes before the deadly effects of organic phosphate would bring about a final collapse.
out. You take the house. I'll take the garage and the shed.
Right.
You take it over that way, huh?
There's nobody in the house.
Hit that screamer. Norton's got to be in his grove someplace. Check those paint cans over there, will you? Yeah. What'd you find?
Nothing yet.
Gotta be around here someplace.
What's the matter?
Norton's arrival on the scene at least allayed their fears about Norton himself, but they were right back where they started. Where did Dan get his organic phosphate poisoning? Questioning Norton, they discovered he once used an organic phosphate powder. But due to the danger of the pure form, it was stored in water to keep the dust particles out of the air. Further questioning by Dan Mathews and Dr. Holmes found that organic phosphate, when in water, is a white solution. In Dan's mind, a question formed. Could it, by a little boy, be mistaken for whitewash? Could this have been Tommy's whitewash? Where was Tommy? Had Norton seen Tommy in the last hour? Could Tommy's toy guns have become deadly guns, as lethal as if they fired real bullets?
Well, I figured the dry powder would fly in the air too easy, so I
Come on.
Well, I dumped it in the big can, I mixed it with water, and I put it up on one of the shelves inside the shed.
Let's take a look.
I thought it'd be safe up there. It's gone.
Tommy's been exposed more than I have. We gotta find him right away. Let's start looking. Come on, spread out. You take it this way.
Tommy! Tommy! Son!
Tommy! 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 Hey, Doc! Coming down! Hey, Tommy. Tommy. Tommy, wake up. Come on, now, wake up. Tommy, come on, wake up. Wake up, boy.
Hi, Mr. Mathews.
Oh, Tommy, this is Dr. Holmes. He's going to fix you up okay.
Hi, Tommy. I made Mr. Mathews feel better, too.
Are you sick, too?
Yeah, I have the same thing you do.
I want to get him back to the lab. Oh, don't worry. We got it in time. Everything's going to be all right.
I want Mr. Mathews to carry me.
Well, I don't
All right,
think...
Doc, don't make a public panic out of it.
Okay. I'll go back to the car and prepare a hypodermic. I'll tell Norton we found his boy.
Okay.
A hypodermic? That means I'm gonna get a shot.
Well, I'm sorry to say, but yeah,
I don't like them.
I don't like him either. But look, Tommy, you and I are going to take pills and shots for the next couple of weeks.
Well, if you say so.
I say so.
Oh, we almost forgot.
What?
Here's your present.
Oh, thanks. You know, this is what made us both sick. Guns can be awful dangerous. Come on. See Highway Patrol again week. Until then, remember, reckless driving doesn't determine who's right, only who's left. This is Roderick Crawford saying, see you next week.